What's up out there, YouTube? This your boy Joe Johnson 030.
It's dude SEL 0320 representing JVS.
You know.
We are back again for a brand new TV show review. And this is actually unorthodox for us because normally we at least start from the beginning. But we're just still getting through the first episode. But this is the X-Files, y'all. They have a brand new show. It's only 6 episodes for the season or the miniseries or whatnot. And this will be the second episode. The name of this episode is The Founder's Mutation. Just small disclaimer. Me and Joe are exhausted. Okay? We have been outside shoveling snow all day. We helped out multiple different neighbors. We shoveled out like tons and feet worth of snow for hours. And that's the reason why I can barely sit out right now. But Joe is awesome enough to tag team with me on this one. And we're going to talk about this episode. So, the episode description reads, when a scientist suddenly commits suicide, Mulder and Scully investigate what unseen force may have driven him to it. What they uncover in the laboratory is more extreme than what they got their hands in store. So, as far as the actual episode was concerned, I thought it was actually really good. It's probably one of their more stronger episodes because it was definitely that supernatural element. A lot of times with the older series, there was implied things that were going to happen. There was never any manifestation of stuff. With the movies, there was a lot of supernatural things that were happening, specifically with aliens and stuff like that. But this episode, it really showed the surrealness of how epic the show can be. From an action standpoint, from a science fiction standpoint. I think, honestly, me and Joe were both roast out, though, when Sonny, the dude who was just a scientist, he was just literally just at his desk, talking in front of a meeting. All of a sudden, like, this piercing sound was hitting him, and the way that they did it so well, because he started bleeding from his eyes, and then what ended up coming up, like, dude killed himself. It was gross, man. There was a lot of death in this episode, and so they're not holding anything back. But what were some of the things we liked about this episode, Joe?
It's very suspenseful, to say the least.
Yeah.
I was just taken aback just how suspenseful it was, and just it's a very interesting show. There's a lot that takes place in one episode, and you definitely have to kind of pay attention to what they're talking about because it's a very fast-paced investigation with this episode.
Yeah.
And a lot takes place. So they don't really stall on what they're doing. They're making different moves, they're traveling different locations, trying to find the next lead that's going to get them the result of their investigation.
Yeah.
And we see that here in episode 2 of the X-Files. That's probably one of the most appealing things I find about this new season, this new series of the X-Files.
Yeah. I mean, not just that. David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson is Agent Mulder and Scully. Like, they do a really good job. They're still the same characters. It's crazy. Because I was thinking that, they'd have a hard time getting back into the fold, but they have really good chemistry. Like, it's unnotable chemistry. Not just that, there's a huge reveal in the first episode, but even more so in the second one, where they go and start unraveling different flashbacks when it comes to the child that they had. And the mystery behind it, because Scully has her own, flashback, and it starts off really good, and then it just gets really dark and ominous. And then Mulder has his own different thing. And it plays to wonder is if their minds have been altered in the perception of what happened to their son. Because it seemed like there was 2 different things that was actually happening to their son. But either way, it was very suspenseful. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was definitely really good. I love their dynamics together, back as a group. Even Walter Skinner, their boss, is back as well. Baldy, who I call him. There's a new player in the town named Murphy. I think he's more on the side of like the top secret. He's kind of like, to me, a jerk because he's kind of withholding a lot of information and stuff like that, whereas Skinner was kind of like that. He's going to get help really soon unless he knows something. But either way, I thought, like Joe said, it was really suspenseful, and specifically when they got to the hospital and you start to figure out the government has been doing some very interesting experimentations with alien DNA and human DNA. And the ramifications, they go so deep that it literally connects with Agent Mulder and Scully. But let's go into some of the negatives that we thought about the episode. What were some of the things you didn't like about it?
Dominic. Did you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I think that the shock factor, I don't know if it's because they've seen so much, but Scully and Mulder were not affected at all mentally, emotionally by the stuff that they were seeing. And maybe it was because I haven't looked at all the movies or not, but when I remember back in the day when stuff would really happen, like if somebody started like levitating something or you see something really strange, they would kind of get freaked out by it. Maybe they've seen enough stuff now, it's just like, oh, this is just another day in the park. Because there was this one moment that happened in the hospital, another moment that happened at somebody's house, and they were just like, yeah, well, this is dangerous. And they're aware of the danger, but it's like it really didn't affect them. I didn't think that was, it felt kind of unrealistic from basically where they used to be. But maybe I need to look at the first episode. I'll learn more about their personal application is where they are now. But that's the only nitpicking thing I think I had, other than it being a lot of gore and violence. But yeah, what's some stuff?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's probably the only bad thing or not like negative I can point out about this episode is just some of the reactions were really kind of static. And there it's kind of like I don't have the word for it, but
maybe they desensitized from everything they've seen.
Yeah, that's the best way I could put it at this point. It's just like, you know, their response from what I'm saying is just like not what I would expect. Even for a seasoned vet, maybe I don't know. Maybe one of them has like some serious PTSD or something that. Or something.
Definitely
like
Mulder does.
So hey, maybe we'll see some more of that in the future episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, even some of the actors, even one of the ladies, she was like abducted. And I was just like,
oh, you talking about the first episode?
Yeah. And like she was just way too calm, bro. I was like, yo, like that happened to you multiple times. Maybe you should take some precautions.
Maybe she couldn't do nothing about it though, cause like it's like
sucks.
That's the thing. Like in the older series, whenever somebody would get abducted, there's nothing they could do about it. Even if they literally got there right on time, the person's still gone.
Yeah,
there's literally nothing they could do.
That would leave some scars. Like you would be probably paranoid. The wazoo.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. But either way, that was just kind of nitpicky stuff. All in all, I thought this was actually a really good second episode.
Really good second episode.
Really good action. Yeah. Really good story, as well as even the sci-fi.
Pretty good story. Yeah, pretty good story. Pretty good cases.
I think that when it came to the characters Molly and Kyle, when it got to them,
Molly and Kyle,
I thought that was probably one of the highlights.
Yeah,
for sure. But either way, it was a solid episode. I give it maybe like 9.5 out of 10. I didn't have any real issues with it necessarily, those nitpicky things. What would you give it?
I'd give it a 7.
7 out of 10. So, yeah, that's our review for it. Hopefully you enjoyed our first reviews for this X-Files series. Unfortunately, Joe probably won't be watching as many. What?
Why you nah? Oh, that's not been decided yet.
Okay.
So we'll go from this. Hope you guys like this review of this episode. Continuing the episodes to come, we might see what happens depending on how I'm invested in this show.
Yeah. The only reason why I brought that up, y'all, is just because Joe's not like an avid fan of like the X-Files. It necessarily wasn't something that, you know, was what he wanted to really watch. Because I kind of forced him in a sense.
No, I wasn't forced. I was bored. I was bored.
Either way, I really appreciate Joe for tag teaming with this
Sam.
one. And maybe he might come back next time.
Glad I can be here on the, on the channel here and kind of like discuss these, things with guys.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. SEL 0320.
Joe Johnson 030.
And we out, everybody.
We're out.
Peace.
Where's our notes?